Good afternoon everyone and welcome to another Andrew McWilliam karting video. It's Shennington, the penultimate round of the Club 100 season. Now you guys don't want to listen to me chat, you want to listen to me chat about Andrew's races while racing's going on. So without any further ado, let's head into the first heat because starting on pole we've got George Lawler with Leo Di Castro alongside. Then in third place is the only driver known to man who is shorter than Dante Dillon, that's Logan McAllister. Jeremy Deeks is in fourth ahead of the other driver who's shorter than Dante Dillon, Fraser Brunton. Joseph Simcock is in sixth with Dan Seeger in seventh, and then the only other driver shorter than Dante Dillon, Andrew McWilliam. All of the short drivers are in this race with the exception of Dante Dillon himself. That would be a little bit too stacked or a bit too unstacked if you get what I mean. But it is a stacked race nonetheless. We got loads of C1s, we got lots of quick C2s in here as well. So with that said, let's head on into the race. Now with us starting in 8th position, we're on the outside, but Shennington's one of those tracks where you can be on the outside because it gives you the inside into turn 2, which is arguably more important. So it's fairly 50-50, but we get on the power. It's a bad start from the outside of the grid. Joseph Simcock has an awful getaway, so we're going to move to the inside. Can we send it around the outside through turn 2? We absolutely can. There's a little bit of contact, but exactly what you'd expect as we get a bit squeezed, and I thought we might go airborne. But we're in the middle of 3, and now we're going to brake as late as we can, close in on to whoever this is in the red suit, who has a bit of a moment. We're going to get a decent drive, send it around the outside. Go on, Andrew, lad. That is a race start and a half. We are up into 6th place, having started from 8th, a little bit wide coming out of the Bruno chicane, but a good start nonetheless. And now we really need to get our heads down and just try to pull away from the drivers that are behind us. So fast forwarding a few laps and we have closed in up onto Logan McAllister. Now, can we get a move? It's taken us a long time to do it, mainly because we weren't in the slipstream train, but we've got a good run. We're going to go up the inside. Logan's left the door wide open. Through we go up into 5th place, and the top 3 have really started to battle, but Logan's going to hang it around the outside, up the inside into turn 2. We're still on the outside, and we're just about going to squeeze it back ahead. Can we cover off the inside? I saw a little pointing shadow. Let's work together. Andrew, why would Logan work with you here? As Logan, by the looks of it, rear ends Andrew, or Andrew locks up the rear end and goes sideways. Which happened, I don't know. It could have been either of the two, but we are up a position, and I'm gonna be honest, I think whoever that is up ahead is a little bit too far away. I think that might be George Lawler, so let's skip ahead and see if anything happens. And the answer to that is no, nothing's going to happen. We close in a bit to that 4-way battle, but unfortunately we lost a bit too much at the start. Fraser Brunton's going to take the win, and we're going to finish in 4th because Leo Di Castro had a penalty. So, to be honest, 8th to 4th in the first heat, I'd say pretty good job. Fastest lap of the race as well. Not a bad way to start the day. We give a big thumbs up for that race. Heading into heat number 2, this time we are starting on pole. We've got Dan Seeger in this race, he's in 3rd. And then we've got the other nameless driver of Rory O'Regan down in 8th, but he's going to be too far away to do anything. So the one kind of main thing to do is that we get a good start. We're able to pull away from Dan Seeger and try to take the win. Let's jump into the race. We're heading into the final corner now. Dan is starting in 3rd right behind us, which means that he should arguably be up to 2nd out of the first corner, which is going to be interesting because Dan will presumably work with us for the majority of the race and then try to go for a move on maybe the last lap or the last couple of laps. Let's see what happens. We get on the power nice and early, and Andrew is away and shouldn't really have any challenge into turn 1. We make the apex fairly nice and sweet. I'm going to be honest, I've got no idea where the apex is through that corner. I have not figured it out in like the 6 times I've been to Shennington, so I can't fault Andrew if he misses the apex because I don't know where it is. So we're through, we're up into the lead, and I'm going to be honest, I think we're going to stay in the lead, but let's skip forward and see if Dan Seeger has a little go. Skipping forward a few laps, is this the last lap of the race, or are we midway through the race and someone is going to overtake us? Let's find out. Oh, it's Dan Seeger. Hello, Dan. Andrew, I don't know if he was going for the switchback as, well, we lost a little bit of momentum coming out of the corner because there was that contact. As Dan carries a lot more speed, but he goes wide through the left-hander. I mean, this is Dan Seeger's home track. He used to do owner karting here. Now, what is the plan? What are we going to do? Are we going to push Dan? Are we going to try to overtake him? Or are we going to push him off the circuit? Dan's going to go a bit defensive. We're going to take the wide line, but you just don't get the grip on that wide line. Never mind, Andrew's going to get a decent run. Nonetheless, we'll have a look and see how long is left in the race. We've got a while left, and it looks like these two want to have a good old-fashioned battle arena with ballerinas. Good exit from Andrew. Are we going to give a little push? Yes, we are. But Dan isn't going to be fooled into thinking that we want to work with him. He's going to keep it defensive heading into the hairpin. Can we get the switchback? It's so hard because there's just no real space on corner exit. Well, the straight's not really long enough to go up the inside into this right-hander. We've got to sit behind, try to open up the corner. We do that fairly well. Dan's car just gets that slightly better launch at bottom end. So I think maybe Dan might have a bit more bottom end than us. I don't know. The carts seem relatively okay-ish, I want to say, but it's quite hard to tell. Andrew's opening up these corners much more. Dan's taking a much tighter line. So most of the time, Andrew's going to be getting those better runs. Looking to the outside now. Seeger goes defensive once again, but we just can't really carry as much speed going through the left. We get a nice run though out to the right, and this is where the good old Shenny slipstream will come into effect. Seeger goes defensive. We're going to go to the outside, braking late. That gap does close a bit. We've got a good run. Are we going to get alongside? No. Okay, I do think Seeger might have a slightly better car. But I don't think it's so much better that we can't have a good race. But if we make mistakes like that, it might get very difficult. So with that little mistake, we've dropped about 2-3 tenths, maybe about 2 tenths, which means that we're not going to get as much slipstream. I don't think Seeger knew, so he still went a little bit defensive into that corner. Really good exit out of the final corner for Andrew, and we are back in the... Andrew, get in the bloody toe, you moron! My God. Some people, right, in those wheel tracks, go on, that's how slipstream works. Sorry, Andrew. Anyway, we are closing back in on to Dan. I was thinking, right, I'm going to try to do this video and be as positive towards Andrew as possible. And then at some point, part of my brain was just like, no, there must be hatred. There must be flame. That's the flame, Andrew. Not being fully in the wheel tracks of Dan when you're trying to get slipstream. Like this, what's that? Get right behind the guy. Although it is easier said than done. Again, we're closing in. We're going to open up this corner a little bit more. Go for that slightly later apex. Keep up the minimum speed a bit more, which we need to do considering the car's struggling. We're on the last lap of the race. Will we have a Hail Mary? Yes, we will. Up the inside. Go on, son. That time you don't want to be in the wheel tracks. A lovely move. However, Andrew's going to have to cover off the inside heading into this corner. No! Andrew must have had a look behind his shoulder and seen that he's got a gap to Mr. Seeger. So I think we've done it. I think we are scot-free as we head into the Bruno chicane. Oh no, Andrew, that's bad. I wish we had the 360 or 360 so we could see behind. Yep, Andrew's going defensive now. We definitely messed up the Bruno chicane, and we're going to have to go defensive all the way through this. Keep it tight so that Dan can't send it up the inside. Oh, there's a little gap. No, Dan can't get up the inside. We're through. You can really hear the car bogging down again. Hold it tight on the exit so Dan's got to go the long way around. And we are going to take the win by just 7/100ths of a second. Rory O'Regan absolutely nowhere. So we're going to start off the day with a 4th and a victory, and with the fastest lap of the race as well. Fair play, Andrew. So with that said, we're going to move on into the 3rd and final heat of the day. This time we're starting from 6th position, but we've got some quick drivers in here. Joseph Simcock for 1. We've got Max Chappers. Dan Shaw is going to be causing all kinds of mayhem in this race, let's be honest. Thomas Layton, Ewan Thomas, Salvador Newman. Oh my God, it's Andrew McWilliam and the juniors in this race. So let's see how it all pans out. Once again, we are starting from the outside of the grid, but that's not that bad. It's not like clay where you're on the outside where it is an absolute nightmare. Here it's okay. So we need to get a good start, maybe give Leighton a little push as we get ready to get going. Keep your eye on that right foot, and guys, I think we might have a dud kart. We'll keep an eye on that as Ewan Thomas goes a little bit wide, and now he's right in our way. There comes Dan Short, not causing any carnage just yet. We'll leave that to Ewan for now. As, oh dear. I think we just kind of got out-dragged a little bit. We're going to look to the inside. Okay, I thought we might have gone for a little send there. There's a bit of loading, a little bit of loading. We come out of the corner, but we're not going to get that much speed. Can we hold on to those two positions? We can indeed. And now we're going to cover off the inside. The two ahead are having their own little bittle battle. Is that an expression? Bittle battle? Anyway, we're not gaining a lot in... Actually, to be fair, the top end of this car seems to be okay. But this is where we're really going to see what the bottom end is like. Oh my god. Oh my god. Wow. Oh dear, oh dear. Okay, this is where we'll really sit because we got a good exit. And goodbye. Yikes. This is why when people ask me if I'm going to do the final round of the season at Buckwell, I said no. Because as fun as Club 100 is, it's great if you're doing a championship. If you're doing a one-off, it can be a bit painful sometimes. Right, so what's the plan here? How do we approach this race? If I was Andrew, I'd just sit in the tow, because at least if you've got the tow, that kind of keeps you a little bit defended from other people terrorizing you. So that's the plan. Or, yeah, I mean, to be fair, in that point, just go for the move. If my guy's going to miss the apex by more than Andrew's missing power, yeah, to be fair, this race, all things considered, is going mighty well. We are up into 4th place, and if first and second keep on battling, we might be able to get into a little bit of a slipstream train. Hopefully they're still going side by side. That's Joseph Simcock and I don't know, is it William Henn or something? I'm not sure. I can't really see who it is up there, but I'm not going to cut forward in this because I'm very curious to see how Andrew drives his car, because so far this is pretty good. 6th up into 4th place, which means we're going to have a win and 2 fourths despite having a very dud car in heat number 3. So this is pretty good, and we're closing into the driver up ahead, so we might have a podium on the cards here. And I'm going to guess there's been a bit of battling or something nearby. So the driver in front misses the apex by a country mile. What on earth was that? Whoever that was, you've got to check your apexes, mate. That was horrendous. My guy is missing apexes like I miss championships. That is... We won't talk about that guy missing apexes. We only like to meme Andrew missing apex. Oh my god, he keeps missing the apexes. I hope he's watching this video and he realizes how bad he's being. But I shouldn't be throwing shade. I miss more apexes than that at Shennington. Oh, is he going to miss it? You can't be that sideways. My guy needs to find the apex, then try to be fast. Not try to be fast and then try to find the apex. I think we're going to get 3rd in this race. I actually do, because we're gaining so much from this guy in front thinking that it's Tokyo Drift going on. And now we're definitely going to be getting a bit of tow. Andy, get in the tow! Stop taking the racing line, and on the straight, get right behind this nincompoopy. Wow, you can really see that car accelerate away. To be fair, this is not as bad as the car that I got in Shennington SB60s last year. Head over to Milky Serial channel to see the worst car that has ever existed. But this is pretty bad. This is like right up there with like worst carts that I've ever seen. So, yeah. Anyway, are we going... to be fair, this guy has started to pick up the pace a little bit. I think we've got a couple of minutes, maybe 2 more laps left in this race. So we really need him to make a mistake somewhere to be fair, Andrew's putting in some good laps, but the driver in front is starting to actually drive fairly well, to be fair. I mean, oh, bit of a lock-up. Oh, is that going to cost him time? Honestly, first half of the race from the driver in front was like 5 out of 10. Now he's getting more up to like 7 out of 10. So big improvement. You love to see it. Club 100 drivers learning as the day goes on. A lot of times these drivers haven't actually done any testing beforehand, so this could be like his 20th ever minute at the circuit, to be fair, right? He might never have been here before. So you can't be too harsh, but again, we're just not close enough. And are we heading on to the final lap? No, now we've got 2 more laps, but I'm going to stay with it. We're not going to skip forward. I believe in 3rd place. I'm not going to lie, I don't believe in 3rd place anymore, but I definitely did believe in it before. But still, 4th is going to be pretty good. And I'm trying to think, where is that going to have us starting for the A final? Because 2 4ths and a 1st is probably going to start in the top 5, I'd imagine, around there, which is where you need to be. As long as you're in the top 5, you can fight for that A final victory. So this is fine. We don't need to get upset about bad karts. We just need to limit the damage, make sure we get a solid kart for that A final. As again, yeah, we're closing massively, but it's just we can't get the drive out of that corner. We're too far back. This guy's a look over his shoulder, and we are now on to the final lap of the race. Sadly, the top 2 didn't really battle hard enough for us to close in. And yeah, 3rd is pretty much making all of the apexes now. So I've got to take back some of my criticism about this dude in 3rd place. He started hitting apexes. He started driving a lot better. He's almost as close to apexes now as Andrew is to actually being in the slipstream. So pretty solid effort. And yeah, we're on the last lap, so nothing's going to change. Maybe if we had another 5 minutes, we could catch up to this guy. If this was an SP30, maybe we could take 3rd, but it's not an SP30, it's an S, and that's it. As yeah, this guy's choking up corners, but he's doing BMW, pelted down a straight line. We're going to come over the line to finish in 4th position. It's Salvador Newman. Salvador, you absolute muppet. Moving on to the A final. Max Chapman starts on pole, then it's Dominic Balasaitis and Fraser Brunton. Dante Dillon completing the top 4. We're starting all the way down in 11th? What? A 1st and 2 4ths is 11th. Oh my god. And we're starting with Logan McAllister, Dan Seeger, Randis, Nicholas Lacasas in 8th. Go on, lad. But that's mental. Oh, right, I get it now. So the reason why I got confused is before it used to be 12 heats, now it's 15 heats. So because the heats are a bit more spread up, you need better results to get higher up. So that's presumably why that's happened. Starting in 11th means that we have the inside. We're starting right behind Dan. We've got fake Dante Dillon on the right. That's Logan McAllister. It is Shennington. Lots of stuff can happen, but honestly, starting outside of the top 10 is going to be difficult. I think the main aim for Andrew is going to be getting past, as much as I love them, the likes of Salvador Newman, Thomas Northcott, Nicola Cassis, getting onto the back of some of the C1s. We did change this car in testing, so hopefully it's a good one. Oh, there's a little bit of contact going through turn 1, straight up the inside. Go on, Andrew. No prisoners. Oh, he's going to make the tyre barrier prisoner in a second. He squeezed himself a little bit too far wide, murdered Dan Seeger in the process. But we have lost a couple of positions. We're going to send it hard to the outside. Look for the old switcheroonies. Andrew is absolutely sending... Oh... Okay, right, I don't know if he got a bad exit or if that was caught. We'll find out in a second if, you know, we can make an apex, because we got a little bit loaded that time. I can't even blame... Oh, wow. Yeah, okay, Andrew, maybe you shouldn't have changed car. That is unlucky. You know, if I... Right, let's see. Wow. Hey, look, we're faster than Thomas Northcott. If I was doing this video, I might just skip the entire A final because this is painful. What a switcheroo! Good thing we didn't skip that. That is better than the double overtake from the clay pigeon race. But anyway, behind Ben Sanders, I want to see a full drag race out of a corner. Okay, that's fairly even exit speeds. Fairly even. Oh, we didn't lose a huge amount that time. We need to get more comparisons because maybe Ben Sanders has a bad car. Okay, that is a good exit. We're in the toe. Are we going to close in the slipstream? Hard. We close in a little bit. It's not great. This car's not great. We're going to send it up the inside. Oh! We almost killed fake Dante Dillon. Sanders is on one side. Who's on the other side? Is it Seeger? No, it's La Casas back through. And who is that going to be? Thomas Northcott as well? Oh no. This is not what Mr. McWilliam needed. Sam Lovelace. What's Lovelace doing down here? Bro's trying to get a top 10 finish in the A final. Lovelace is going to defend. Oh, we're going to full send it around the outside. Go on, Andrew. He almost makes it work as well. Right, we got a decent exit. Maybe the car isn't that bad. I don't know. Yeah, now we're not going to get an exit because we lost all of our momentum. I can't tell. I think the first few laps there was something going on, but it looks better now, I think. This is where I record this video and Andrew's going to message me and say, what do you mean it looked all right? Look at that! And I'd say, yeah, okay, Andrew, I take it back. The cart's a bit bad. Anyway, I'll let you guys try to figure it out for yourself. I'm just going to enjoy the racing. So we get a decent exit coming out of turn 2. I thought I saw the shadow of someone alongside us for a second. And, oh, Sam, you don't want to lock up your brakes like that. As, to be honest, right, if I'm Andrew right now, I'm sticking behind Sam. Because Sam's a good driver. If you can stay in his toe, maybe push him in a few places, you're going to be gaining time together. If you start fighting, you're both going to lose time. It just doesn't make sense. I mean, Sam might be struggling with a bad car as well, to be fair, which would explain a lot of things, but never mind, we're going up the inside. Andrew's had enough. He's like, Sam, get lost. We're going through. Oh, I saw on the shadow there was a little finger wag forward. I don't think Sam's going to be complying with that. Let's see if Sam tries to come back through, but it looks like we are ahead and safe for now. Can we catch up to Mr. Lacasas? A little bit too hot into turn 2, costs us a tiny bit of time. Oh, we've had to hold it tight. Is that going to be Lovelace alongside us? Let's see. Oh, no, it's not. Okay, so I guess we are actually closing in to Mr. Lacasas in front of us, and I'm just going to not cut anything out of this. Oh, there's a yellow flag. That means we can go full speed and everyone else will slow down so we can gain time on. I mean, no. When there's a yellow flag, you must all slow down to half race speed. Definitely 50% race speed. Half race speed, that is an accurate symbol of the amount that you need to slow down by. Which is why when I race, I like to think about it as half race speed, so I apply half the amount of brake pressure by braking half the distance from the corner that I normally would. So I try to follow that 50% guideline to the T. Some people aren't that appreciative of it though, so I don't know. You try to please people, but sometimes they just don't get it. But you know what we are going to get? We're going to get Nick Lacasas. We're probably not, but we are. It's a bit like Heat 3, where we are gaining that tiny amount, but not by a lot. And it's a shame as well, because if in that heat we had finished in second, or if we had finished in third instead of in fourth, we could have actually started this race in 7th place. So, yeah, that would have been huge. It would have been 2 rows further up, and it might have meant that Andrew wouldn't have had a bit of a dud kart. Or I'm guessing 2 dud karts in a row, because he swapped out of this kart, so I'm guessing he thought the previous kart was a dud. I'm not going to show any footage of that, because I don't want to have to go through that footage. So we're just going to talk about this A final. So on the brakes, again, we're taking that slightly tighter line in, using all of the track coming out. You can see that we're visibly gaining on Nick, but it is a small amount. And this is where you've got to be patient as a driver. You can't overdrive. You've got to just do it sensibly. Just put in the laps, be quick, be consistent. Don't try to overdrive to bring that gap down too early, because all that will happen is you'll look like a Humpty Dumpty Numpty like that guy Who was that? I don't know. I actually don't know who it was. Was it what, a red suit? Was it Ethan Saunders-Wilkes? I actually have no idea. But someone was a bit of a numpty there. I don't think it was Logan McAllister. Yeah, if you guys know, you can put it down in the comments. Let us know who was that numpty dumpty who outbreak themselves, went in the grass, as we have closed in to Mr. Lacasas. We've got the tow, we've got the slipstream. Not that it matters, because Nick's going for that slow and fast out line through the hairpin. But coming through the Bruno chicane, it's a decent run, but I mean, just look at that kart go. Unlucky Andrew, 2 bad karts and a bad kart in the one time when you don't want one, which is in the final. And I think we've got Slam Lovelace right behind us, as there's about 4 minutes left in this race. We're going to keep talking and powering all the way through it, though. Again, we've lost a bit of time to Nick. We need to make sure we get the exits out of corners, because so far we're gaining time by going hot in, but we're coming a bit slow out, and Sam's decided now's the time for him to go for a move. And we give it a little push, and then it's a bye-bye Sam. Sam's going to drive away from us, as no one seems to like that curb. I can't remember if you're using Club 100 or maybe just BPAC, but yeah, bye Sam. Look at the gap that Sam's pulled through one corner. That's got to be kart. That has to be kart. But anyway, a couple of laps left. Hopefully Sam and Nick battling will allow us to get involved in this battle for, I don't know what position it is, maybe it's like 6th or 7th place potentially. But again, there's not much you can do as a driver here. You just have to put in the laps and hope that no one's going to send you, because if you start defending, you're a bit scuppered. We're not losing a huge amount to the leading train, but we're never going to catch up to those guys, so it is what it is. And yeah, just have to hope that Sam catches up to Nick, and then they battle or something, and then we can get involved and maybe gain that one position, or at least one position. I am tempted to skip forward, but I have a feeling something's going to happen, and I want to catch the Sam attempt on Mr. Lacasas. Just, yeah, this is a bit painful to witness. To be fair to Andrew, though, he is driving this fairly well. As much as I hate to admit it, he's putting in some solid laps to actually stick with Sam, all things considered. I can see on my timeline, oh, a bit of a lock up there from Sam. He does like that little lock up as he gets on to the brakes, and that's the best run we've got through the hairpin, because we managed to carry a fair bit of speed in, but we got the exit out, and that's what Andrew needs to focus on now. Make sure he gets the exits, because if he doesn't get the exits, this happens. He's too far back to be in the slipstream. So he needs to make sure that he's in the slipstream, which is really easy to say in hindsight, but when you're in the car, you're just trying to push as much as you can, and Andrew's gaining time by going hot into the corners. But then on the exits, just because his kart doesn't have the power, he loses that time. So when you're in these dud karts, you just have to focus on keeping up that minimum speed, which I'm sure Andrew is desperately trying to do. But it is just so frustrating when you're in this situation. And I bet it was kind of begging Sam, please just send Nick from somewhere so I can get involved in this battle. But anyway, couple of laps to go, and Sam is definitely closing up on to Nick. He gets a very nice late apex. That's going to open up the corner for Sam, and I have a feeling that next lap he might be able to go for a send. Probably not this lap. You can see his rear end just wiggling a bit as he gets on the brakes down into the dog leg. I think it's called the dog leg, I'm not sure. But again, he's just not quite in that big toe. We've got less than 2 minutes on the clock, which is going to be probably about 3 laps, give or take. And again, we're just hoping that Sam's going to get the run, and he's going to be able to put a big move on Nick, big enough for us to get right into it. There goes Sam up the inside, sends it nice and hard. We're able to close in, but not by a ridiculous amount. So again, the issue now is that Nick's going to have the slipstream from Sam, even though, yeah, the other carts just drive off the corner. Like, I mean, that is mental. I know Andrew took an earlier apex, but it was still a much better line. Again, that scares me every time I see that little lockup from Sam. But this is a good run. It's a good run, but it does not matter because Nick has... Andrew, get in the slipstream. What are you doing? Maybe there was a cut up his inside. I don't know. But anyway, every time I want to say we've got to run, it doesn't matter because Nick just drives away. Yeah, there's nothing that Andrew can really do here. No, go and send it. Oh, too far back. I think that was like a 1 in a million opportunity, or a 1 in a million opportunity for it to go well. Probably sensible that we did sit behind. We're going to go through the Bruno chicane. And again, bye, Nick. Nice to meet ya. Sam has a look over his shoulder. He sees that he's safe from Mr. Lacasas. Are we going to see that little lock-up? Yes! Go on, Andrew! Up the inside. Go on, give him the squeeze. Give him the squeeze. Oh, yes! We managed it as well. Is that the checkered flag? Yes, it is. We come over the line to finish the race in P10. Because Nick Lacasas got beat into the line by Leo Licastro. Did we get the fastest lap of the race? 52.6. No, definitely not the fastest lap of the race. But the weird thing is, that was a 52.6. That was the same pace as Heat 3, almost the same pace as Heat 2, and the same pace as Heat 1. Yeah, that brings this video to a close. Make sure to subscribe to the channel.